This is Talk Business and Politics with Roby Brock.
Welcome to today's Talk Business and Politics Daily. I'm Roby Brock. We are joined by two gentlemen with the Arkansas School for Mathematics, Sciences, and the Arts, Corey Alderdice and Steve Rice. Thank you both for being here.
Pleasure.
Corey, I'm coming to you first on this. When everybody thinks of the school, they do obviously think of the math and the science part of this and the technicality of all of that. Mm-hmm. Where does arts fold into it? I know the answer to this, but I'm quizzing you.
Sure. The arts were added to the school's mission in 2004, and for the longest time had simply been a small A on the end of the acronym. But about 5 years ago, we began making investments in it, doubled our number of courses, added faculty, and now I think we're beginning to get much closer to that original vision for a fine and performing arts program within the institution.
I think a lot of people do think, though, you think just in terms of left brain, right brain with science and math, and you think the alternative for the arts there, but they do blend together in this day and age now.
Oh, absolutely. I think you have, just a few students who would exclusively consider themselves art students, or just a handful that are only science students. Some of the most talented musicians I think I've ever seen as students come through the program are also some of our most brilliant scientists. And even our art instructor at one point fancied himself going into a career as an engineer, and you see that precision and that skill in design that factors over into students' artwork. So the two concepts are really complementary.
All right, and Steve, you are with the school now to promote entrepreneurship, something that you've got quite a resume for, and you have definitely done some stuff here in Central Arkansas in the entrepreneurship scene. Tell me what you're trying to accomplish in this new role in entrepreneurship.
Yeah, it's really about preparing students for the career that they'll have beyond whether they ever start a business or not. Mm-hmm. And so it's really taking that critical thinking and the problem solving that they're learning and expanding that and preparing them for the future.
Tell me a little bit about what you are doing with the students now. I know you've taken them through the Little Rock Tech Park. You've introduced them to a lot of other successful entrepreneurs who have this science and math in their background. Tell me what your curriculum kind of is.
Sure. So we're focused on creating an experience for them that exposes them to what's going on in Central Arkansas in the entrepreneur space. And so that's part of why we have an office in the Little Rock Tech Park, to allow them that opportunity. And the curriculum on campus is built to help them kind of get their feet wet, so to speak. And our goal ultimately is to also be able to build on that and make an impact in the state as well with students outside of the school. And so we're looking at how can we make an impact beyond our walls.
Yeah, students inside the school, students outside the school's walls, as Steve said, Corey. Mm-hmm. We talk about the brain drain and how Arkansas loses some of these top-notch students and they never come home after they go off to college. What's being put in place, and maybe how does this fold into that mission of let's keep them here?
Sure, I think that's one of the common misconceptions about ASMSA graduates, that they receive this fantastic set of opportunities and they flee the borders of our state never to return. And what's actually interesting is about 2/3 of our alumni remain in state. That of our 5 most recent groups of graduating high school seniors, about 70% of them are continuing their undergraduate education here in Arkansas. So I think partially through our own college advising and career advising program, and certainly with the opportunities that we're fostering in this entrepreneurship experience, it's letting these young people know that there are robust opportunities in Arkansas, that while the draw of Silicon Valley or Austin or New York may be thrilling, that major Fortune 500 companies are here in the state, let alone small, dynamic, and emerging startups where their talents are desperately needed.
All right, Corey mentioned Austin. So is Little Rock going to be the next Austin, or is Hot Springs going to be the next Austin, Steve?
Well, I think it's important as we continue to grow in this entrepreneur ecosystem that Central Arkansas is really close. We're 45 minutes away. And so it's really about how can we continue to grow the expertise of these students and plug them in wherever they find themselves. But now you don't really have to be in any specific location because of technology. So it's important that they understand, like Corey said, the opportunity in Arkansas is here, and you don't have to go somewhere else. You can experience that benefit here.
You obviously signed off on Steve's hiring in this position right here. Where do you hope that they elevate to? What is your expectation for what this will grow into?
Sure. Back to your leadoff question about the arts. I think the thing that's most exciting about entrepreneurship is it really is the intersection of that STEM side and the arts and creativity. In order to facilitate a successful business, you have to have the technical capacity to build a concept, build a product, and then at the same time, you have to have the message, the sales, all of the creative components that go into building an audience. So for us, I think it's exposing students to this idea of economic development even while they're in high school. The alumni that we have that are in the startup spaces, that are building businesses, most of them have stumbled upon it at some point in their undergraduate or graduate education. And I think if they have the chance to experience that early on, then it's something that they can intentionally approach rather than just happening. Yeah, exactly, right.
Steve, what are you seeing in the students that you're working with here initially?
I'm really impressed with their ability to understand the process very quickly, as students are very close to the scientific method. And so they understand that developing a hypothesis and going and proving that out and figuring it out, that's just normal to them. So this jump to entrepreneurship is not a big jump for them to recognize a problem and develop a solution. And so that excites me, not just for our students, but also for Arkansas, because I believe that those students will be much more effective employees. Ultimately, as I said, whether they start a business or not, I'm more concerned that they learn a process and that they learn these great skills that are transferable wherever they end up.
And last question for you, Steve. You had them in some boot camp environments and already doing some things that would lead to elevator pitches and fleshing out some concepts. What do we need to be watching for? I'm not going to ask you to pick one of your favorite children. I'm just saying, what should we be watching for?
Well, we'll actually be, I'm putting together an expo day here in Little Rock, probably at the Tech Park, for my students. And that's the initial kind of, for people to get a look under the hood, so to speak. So,
welcome
but
to
I think,
entrepreneurship.
but I think we'll have, as we get some momentum, more and more students that recognize this opportunity and really take a hold of it. So that's exciting.
All right, Steve, Corey, thank you both for being here. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right. That's all for today's Talk Business and Politics Daily. I'm Roby Brock. We'll see you next time.
Arkansas Electric Cooperative Corporation provides electric energy across 2/3 of Arkansas. This is an exciting time in our energy history, with incredible progress being made in renewable energy and storage technologies. As our energy portfolio continues to diversify, we'll maintain an all-the-above strategy to provide reliable and affordable electricity. Ever since the first light bulbs were placed in our members' homes, the electric cooperatives have been the solutions provider for our members, and we want to continue that well into the future.
Each day, the promise of our nation begins again. Arkansas and America, moving forward. I help make that promise a reality. It's not for everyone, but people everywhere depend on us.
Oh, I love you too, sweetie.
Trucking delivers, or everything stops. And that's what drives me.